Welcome to MSUA's Game Changers Live, where we speak with satellite and mobile connectivity thought leaders about industry trends, new technologies, and talk about what you need to know about the future of satellite communications. I'm your host, Lisa Dreer, and I'm excited to introduce our guest for today, Alvaro Sanchez. He's the CEO of Integrasys. Welcome to the show, Alvaro.
Thank you very much, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for making time for this. And I know you're a little bit under the weather, but you look great. So thank you for being brave and and braving through this for us today. We really appreciate it.
Much appreciated the invitation.
Yeah, maybe you can begin by giving us just a little background on yourself and Integrasys.
I'm Alvaro Sanchez. I'm the CEO of Integrasys. And Integrasys is a 32 years old company that we develop software for making satellite easier. Uh, by making satellite easier, we are able to be adopted by more users. Sometimes mobile, sometimes fixed. In this case, are mobile users that need connectivity 100% of the time. In that regard, as easier it is, the less human factor, the more availability they have anywhere, anytime. We do software products for designing the network, managing the network, deployment the network, and being able to be much more resilient and secure along the life cycle of the network and provide better satellite connectivity service to all end users that might be mobile.
Great, great. So what's your background? How did you come to be the CEO of Integrasys?
It was a family owned, so it was pretty easy. I was the older son and the only one engineer. I'm two times engineer. I have electronic engineer and I have a telecommunications engineer. And I started my career at CERN, that it was a collider that is between Geneva. Well, it's in Geneva, but it's between France and Switzerland. And I was working on an experiment that it was measuring the speed of light and the speed of the neutrinos. I started in a very, very technical background, but I was more into people's. I moved to sales and started in Integrasys as a sales engineer, then moved into a sales manager, then sales director. And then my father passed away. He got cancer and then passed away. And I got the management position there. We're moving on that management and then the CEO. We started to open markets, open offices, open new business units and business models. And now we are establishing 7 countries and opening new offices every year and new business units as well. So this year,
Wow.
yeah, it's an exciting thing, and there is no better thing to like your daily job. So I'm very glad that I do. I don't know if I would have the choice or not, but I'm extremely glad that I do.
Absolutely. So you mentioned new offices. I think you have a couple of new offices that you're in the process of opening. Is that right?
Yes, we are opening at this end of the year Tampa and Atlanta, Georgia. But we did open this year Sydney and Luxembourg. So those are established and those have been started the early this year, and previous to that we opened a few more. But the newer ones that we are starting today, the contract with our landlords is Tampa and Georgia.
Wow, amazing growth. That is fantastic. So, I mean, in terms of good news, there's even more good news, right? So, from what I understand, You and Integrasys have earned a couple of awards this year. One of them might be from the MSUA.
It was definitely the preferred award without any doubt. Very appreciated. We won the most innovative government technology, I think, for mobile connectivity. I think it was called,
Yeah.
and we are very glad it was for a product that is called Clean RF. And what it does is that when you have a mobile platform that goes through any type of spectrum environment, that it could be very, very dirty, it cleans up and enables you to have a very available and resilient network. So being able to clean any dirt, it makes a lot of sense, especially in the government markets, which nowadays, jamming is on high popularity, especially in Europe, and this anti-jamming technology is absolutely required. So we were very timely developing this solution to have it ready for when the problem for those solutions to solve we're already developed.
Fantastic. And then there was another award, I think, that
Oh
you
yes,
won.
yes. So I mentioned one of the 20 and the 35 in SSSPR in Silicon Valley. Very appreciated too. It was just personal and I highly appreciate it. So I'm not under 35. I'm 35, but still I could make the cut. So very happy.
Well, fantastic. Well, congratulations on those awards. So, I want to jump into our topics here for the day. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is what you feel is the most important role that the satellite industry has to play in the future of mobile connectivity.
So I think that the future of mobile connectivity is nothing without satellite. So satellite, it's absolutely mandatory for connecting any mobile platform, whether it is air, sea, or ground. It's impossible to plug a ship to a plane, or sorry, to plug a cable to a plane, or to plug a cable to a ship. So in that regard, it is very, very important for satellite to provide a very good connectivity. We are making a lot of progress, but we could do more and we could do fast. So I think that users need better technologies, and us, we need to develop better technologies for them to utilize and to have better bandwidth, fiber over sky, I would say.
Great. So when you look at that, what do you see as the most significant changes that are going to happen over the next, like, say, 3 to 5 years?
So I see that multi-orbit is something that is really required by mixing LEO, MEO, GEOs in different type of antennas that can coexist with them, as well as systems that can switch where the best path is, where the most available or the most resilient, or what the user really needs, because there are many type of users, and one user might need just to download a YouTube, or other user might need to upload the video. So it's different type of traffic requirements, and our applications, well, our systems need to coexist with all those applications
Mhm.
through virtualization, through automation, through AI, and machine to machine. But again, we need to make the work for our users to benefit seamlessly. So that's that's our task.
Sure, sure. One of the things that I think has come up a lot over the last several years is a move toward more standards and away from proprietary solutions. What's your perspective on that?
I think it's true. We are members of the DIFI, which is Digital IF. They have created a standard. It's a good move. One of the reasons why we get there is because of that. We are interested on that particular standard because it's allowing to virtualize a lot of the services. We are a software company. So we are in a virtualized environment since birth, 32 years back. So it is something that open us a market significant, as well as it would open up a market for the users.
Mhm.
So standards are very good, and this way it is a wider competition as well. And I think that competition drives innovation, and and it's good for the end user as well, that there is an active competition in the market in order to benefit of more innovation to a lower price point and more added value tools to at the same price.
Sure, sure. I think one of the things that is happening right now is just more change than probably ever before in the satellite industry. Commercialization of space has definitely impacted and benefited the market, as well as, we're seeing a lot of mergers and acquisitions, and there's a lot of new space companies coming into the market. So there's just all of these shifts. What do you think are, like, I guess, the main changes that are happening, and how are those changes benefiting the satellite services market?
So I think it's an exciting time to be in the satellite industry, honestly. You see a lot of disruption. You see a lot of companies consolidating. In some cases, you see that consolidation is good for that company, and sometimes it's not that good for that company. So you see multiple dynamics. At the end of the day, for the end user, an active market and development, and it provides better end product to them. In the other hand, it also provides a little more uncertainty of who will be their provider in X time, and how their strategy will change from one to another. So in
Mhm.
that regard, I think that an excellent provider is someone who has very clear view on where the market is, and is not looking at any dramatic changes in the organization side, because always security brings investment. And so in that regard, if you have a secure path to obtain your connectivity, go to that instead of going to a let's say a newcomer that requires investment, and when they obtain the investment, you don't know which side they were gonna play. But
Mhm.
we are excited about the new space, and we work with a lot of new space companies, and we are absolutely glad to do that, because they bring a lot of innovation, a lot of new requirements, and excellent ideas.
Great, great. What do you see as some of the greatest challenges to delivering a commercial satellite service for mobile applications today?
Well, one of the greatest challenges is obtaining licenses. So when you are a newcomer, you need licenses, and many times it is a long and very costly process. So we
Mhm.
develop a new application that does the certification for those licenses with ITU very much easier, and bridge that gap. So we are trying to look at all those challenges, such as the deployment. The deployment, to automate the deployment, is a big challenge.
Yeah.
One that we cannot solve is the supply chain issue. So looking at supply chain, these days, hardware is highly on demand. So looking at virtualizing, it's something that can help, but eventually you need somebody else's computer in the cloud, but it's a computer of somebody else. So eventually there will be a supply chain there too. But today it is not there. So it's very, very challenging for some companies that they distribute hardware technologies and are not able to deliver with a huge backlog.
Indeed. What do you think from a user perspective, right? That as they are looking at satellite services to use and providers to engage with, what are some of the most important criteria they should be looking for from their service providers?
So I think that again, stability of the company, innovation, that this company innovates into their environment, that they can bring you not only a pipe, but a pipe with given added value services, that they can ease the connectivity part for you. So not worrying about where your ship is, where your plane is, but that company to worry of for you. I think that SLA, service level agreements, is mandatory to be able to understand if they are going to look for a multi-orbit type of scenario or not. So providing only with their own assets or providing with their own assets, but else, other people's asset too, in order to be having more available network and more options, whatever you are at the time you are, and
Mhm.
whatever the issue might be, whether it's COVID, whether it's a war, whether it's a boat in the middle of a river. So it's something that now the world is more uncertain. So looking at a little bit of certainty in your provider with a clear view of the future, I think it's an excellent choice.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, as you know, the MSUA is celebrating our 30th anniversary this year. And with that in mind, I want to find out from you, if you were to make a prediction about 30 years into the future about the satellite industry and mobile connectivity, what would that prediction be?
Well, to be honest, I think that we will be connecting mobile users not only in Earth, looking at connecting mobile users into the space. Earlier today, I was talking to an organization that was looking at connecting things in the moon. So, mobile users through the space, it will be exciting. We
Yeah.
haven't seen that since 30 years back, but still, or more, but still, we if I would be, I have a 1 year old son. If I need to think if in 30 years he is in the space community, I would really appreciate if he can go in a rocket somewhere and be connected as well. So looking at anywhere, anytime, anywhere means Earth or not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as that comes to pass, we'll have you back on the show and you can talk about that. So, Alvaro, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate your insights and everything that you've shared with us today. And we look forward to having you on the show again in the future.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for having us, and thank you, MSUA. It's a pleasure to be here, and excellent work you do with connecting satellite companies with mobile users. Very appreciated.
Oh, thank you so much. So, also, if somebody wanted to learn more about Integrasys, where should they go?
It is Integrasys.space.com. Or Integrasys in LinkedIn, Twitter, and other social media.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I also want to take a moment to thank the Mobile Satellite Users Association, or MSUA, for hosting these sessions. You can learn more about the MSUA and how to become a member at msua.org. And we'll see you next time on MSUA's Game Changers Live.